house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes. The house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house. Been practicing this good. A little bit. Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed.
No, it was good. I liked it.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Big Easy Bets podcast. I'm your host, Logan. With me in the studio, Nick Von Brick.
What up?
What's on the ones and twos? Joseph Ascani.
What's up?
This is episode 179. The NFL playoffs are here, and we're going to recap a very profitable college football national championship. Just like years past, we will bet every single NFL playoff game, much like we did for bowl season. Couple things to get into before we dive into all of that. First things first, hit subscribe wherever you're listening, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. You know the drill. Takes a second, helps us out a lot. A lot has happened since we last recorded. The Saints managed to get a dominant win, and somehow Dennis Allen still managed to lose. Dude, so any Saints fan obviously knows what happens. The Saints go out and drop a 50-burger on the Falcons damn near. And the controversy, I put a video out about it. Got 60,000 views, but who's keeping track? The controversy begins when Tyrann Mathieu gets a near pick six. And so did he give himself up? Some people were saying they thought he might have gave himself up.
I don't know what he was doing.
It looked funky.
Yeah, maybe he hesitated. I don't know.
I was like, did he run out of gas? And then it was like, okay, maybe he is going to try to score it. And so anyway, he gets tackled at the 1 yard line. Dennis Allen calls victory formation, meaning we're going to take a knee. We're not going to punch it in against our arch rival, Atlanta Falcons. And then Jameis Winston had other plans. At least Jameis Winston has become the scapegoat of this controversy, although it seems that every player on the offense, on the field at the time, all agreed that they were going to give Jamal Williams his first touchdown of the season. The same Jamal Williams who had 18 touchdowns last year. Coming into week 17, he had 0. And up until the literal final play of the game, basically, had 0 touchdowns. So they get in victory formation, and then they don't take a knee. They hand it to Jamal Williams. He scores the touchdown. Jameis goes crazy. And then Dennis Allen outed himself to the world as having no control over the team, which was crazy.
Oh.
I tweeted out, I was like, Dennis Allen's going to fuck around and win us back. At least me. I'm speaking for myself, obviously. But so he's going to fuck around and have us back on the wagon. If you're going to do that, you're going to shove it down Atlanta's fucking throat. And then he comes out and fucking catfishes on it. He got bodied by Arthur Smith at midfield.
Yeah.
Which Arthur Smith's such a bitch. That was, well, he said, why'd you got to fucking do that, man? Like, you pussy. Jesus Christ. Arthur Smith knew he was on his way out the door. He knew that was it. That was a wrap for him. So it's like, yeah, if we don't score that, or you think your fat ass is not going to get fired. So I can understand his frustration. And a lot of former players have come out and said that if you're going to do that, that's fine. Don't do it from the victory formation. What are your thoughts there?
Get them how you can get them.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Fuck them.
It's the easiest way to score.
Yeah, make them think we're not trying. Yeah, no, fuck them all, dude. I remember the first away game I ever went to was Atlanta, and we lost. I remember it very well. Lattimore got a pick in that game. Drew Brees threw an interception over the middle of the field. I think it was Deion Jones. Sealed the game. As we're leaving, it takes forever to get out of that stadium. Dude, we got called everything, got shit thrown on us. They're putting their fingers in your fucking face as you're walking away. Like, legitimately. One, I mean, sure, I'm biased, I guess. I've never seen that happen in New Orleans. But, like, you're like, oh, we're not safe. Like, yeah. As you're leaving. You were just there. I don't know how.
It wasn't bad.
Well, it was bad for us. So, fuck them. It's like Cam Jordan said. He was like, I wish we would have went for 2. Like, it's the Atlanta Falcons. So, for you to get up there and go apologize, you apologizing to Arthur Smith. He was in Atlanta for a fucking cup of coffee, and he won't be back. Like, why are you apologizing? Keep that shit in-house at the very least.
Yeah.
Keep that shit in-house. Don't let anybody know what just happened. And if you want to get rid of players, that's on you. Like, but don't let anybody know that they don't respect you. What the fuck? I literally was like, okay, no way he's going to be back. He's going to be the coach. And then after that, I was like, there's more of a percentage now that he won't be back that happened. I do still think he's going to come back, unfortunately, but that opens the door for all the, whatever you want to call it, insubordination. Like,
Yeah.
they don't respect him. They don't respect him at all. They're probably going to get rid of a lot of good players.
Mm-hmm.
Dennis Allen's a bitch. Dennis Allen's a lifetime loser. I've said it multiple times. The fact that it sounds like we're going to side with the coach and we're going to, it doesn't seem Marshawn Lattimore wants to play for Dennis Allen anymore. Marshawn Lattimore will probably be traded. Alvin Kamara, they've publicly disagreed at the post-game press conferences. Will Alvin Kamara still be here? I don't know. If they ship off all the cornerstone players of this resurgence that we had starting in 2017, if they ship all of them off and you ride with Dennis Allen, a lifetime loser who's never done a fucking thing in this league as a head coach, I mean, what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do? Do you trust that they're going to lead some valiant turnaround of the franchise?
Yeah, I don't know what the plan is, you know? Like, after that, I don't know how you keep them.
That's why that's why you can't. You can't. Or you have to get rid of every fucking player. You got to start fresh.
Yeah, because everybody came out defending
yes,
Jameis.
every single.
Nobody had a bad thing to say about him on the team.
Did you see the post-game press conference? Or not press conference, but in his locker getting questioned? That was so funny.
Yeah.
Jameis is hilarious, dude. I used to despise Jameis when he was with the Buccaneers. I thought I almost bought his jersey. I'm not even kidding. Jameis is he's like Teddy Bridgewater, except he didn't do really much of anything.
Mm-hmm.
I understand the 14 touchdown, 2 interception, whatever. He had a good stretch before he tore his ACL. But Teddy Bridgewater came in and played critical games in the midst of what we thought could have been a Super Bowl season. Jameis Winston hadn't really done that much, but he is beloved by the fans. And he asked the guy, he was like, he said, well, the reporter, I think it was Ed Daniels or whatever his name was like, we got to play him twice a year. He's like, we already played him twice. He's like, the season's over, you fucking idiot. He was like being so nice while also like being like, you're a dumbass. And he's like, you would disagree with me or you disagree with the whole team? He's like, I disagree with the person who took the knee. Okay, so you disagree with the whole team. Just the way he was, I don't know, he's hilarious. Just the way he talks and navigates conversations. Like that video where he's like, it was pain everywhere. Like he's a strange individual. It definitely turned into a roast Jameis session, which I didn't like. People calling him like the difference between a winner and a loser. That's a loser's mentality. Shannon Sharp saying he would cut him and blah, blah, blah. It wasn't his fucking decision solely, clearly. Obviously, it's the final say. He's the quarterback. But it was also, they apparently they felt slighted for the fact that they kept sending Jameis out there to take the knees. I'm not entirely sure why, but I guess I don't recall other teams sending the backup quarterback in there to take knees. So for some reason, the locker room allegedly took offense to that. So it was one less opportunity to say, fuck you.
Yeah.
You stop putting him out there to take the knees. I don't know. It's an interesting situation, one that I've never seen before, at least as a Saints fan.
Yeah.
So it's like, what in all reality, because I got called a fake fan. I got told that basically I said I was actively rooting against the Saints. I was hoping we would lose. I bet against them multiple times. Never cashed a ticket when I did. Obviously, we were on the Saints -3 last week, so we did cash that. But I was actively rooting for us to lose the game so we could get a better draft pick. Now we pick 14, smack in the middle. We're not going to get shit. We'll take a lineman. Maybe we move up. Who knows? Maybe we move up to go get Trevor Penning, who isn't even going to fucking play for us anymore. And we're just getting rid of picks. They've swung and missed in the draft the last couple years. I say that. I'll pause, I guess. We've gotten key contributors, I guess. But the trading up to go get somebody has not worked.
Yeah.
If you look at Davenport, or if you look at Peyton Turner, or if you look at Penning. So it's like, what does the future hold for the Saints in all reality? Dennis Allen comes back, and then what do? We have a much tougher schedule.
Yeah.
So if you had to make your prediction right now, what happens?
I don't know. I guess all signs point to him coming back right now. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't like him. The players don't seem to respect him, so.
If you had to bet on it, he gets fired next year?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I feel the same. So it's like, why do you not just get out in front of it? What has he done in all reality? Everybody wants to talk. It's just, I know gaslighting's a new term being thrown around these days, but it's exactly what it is. They want to make you think that they did better than they actually did. Mm-hmm. Derek Carr, oh, these Saints fans, they should be excited. Shut the fuck up, Derek Carr. Oh, the Saints rallied off blah, blah, blah wins down the stretch. Who'd we beat? The Falcons, the Panthers, the Giants with DeVito. We beat the Bucks, who were looking fraudulent down the stretch. I just don't understand. If it looks like shit and it smells like shit, it's shit. What's the difference? Oh, well, it's not actually shit. It just looks like it and smells like it. Nobody wants to be around something that looks and smells like shit. So we got to stop pretending it's something other than what it actually is. This season was a total fucking horrendous waste. We had a horrible, an easy schedule and a horrible division. And we won 9 games, had to rally off wins down the stretch against subpar teams. Any good team we played, we didn't beat. What's there to be positive about? Why does Dennis Allen have this immunity, apparently, to come back and coach the team? And what are we going to do, ship off our players? If they get rid of Marshawn Lattimore, I'm fucking done. I'm not even kidding, dude. I waited so long. I used to say, why can we never get a lockdown corner? Why can we never get a guy who can just shut somebody down? All those years of having dog shit. I thought Brandon Browner was fucking dumb. I was young. I was like, Brandon Browner's going to be that guy. Mm-hmm. Brandon Browner. That was the biggest disappointment of my fucking life. How dumb to think that Brandon Browner was going to come in and be a shutdown corner. He was the worst of the fucking Legion of Boom. So when we got Lattimore and he started doing what he was doing against Mike Evans and just completely locking him down, one of the top wide receivers in football in our division, I was like, holy shit, like we finally got the guy. If we're going to fucking get rid of him, if they ship him off, dude, I will be so mad. I really will. I will be so mad. Mike Vrabel doesn't have a job now, but Dennis Allen does. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. I would send Dennis Allen, I would help Dennis Allen pack his fucking things if we could get Mike Vrabel. I don't know about you, but I think Mike Vrabel's a much better coach than Dennis Allen.
Yeah, look at their last game.
Yeah. No, yeah, he's constantly had...
He's got that chip.
He's had subpar talent.
Ruin their season.
Yeah.
He's not friendly. I like that.
No, I like Vrabel a lot. I would take Vrabel in a fucking heartbeat. And now they're talking about bringing John Gruden in. It's like, we're just trying to form the fucking old Raiders.
Fucking John Gruden will take this team to the promised land.
I would take him over Dennis Allen, don't get me wrong. But it's like, why don't we stop trying to turn into the Raiders? Let's get away from anything with the fucking Raiders.
Because they're like, I don't even know what position they would hire him to.
It was like offensive analyst or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't fucking know, dude. I don't know. All I do know is that we have the 14th pick. And we could have had like the 8th pick or the 7th pick. But we decided to go beat up on bullshit teams because we have a fucking moron as a head coach who's just trying to save his ass. So we saw him at that fucking event, dude. He was way too excited to be at this fucking dog runway show. That was right before the Atlanta game. He didn't care about that game. I don't know. I was actively rooting for the Saints to lose, and I feel like I was justified in doing so. I don't care what anybody says. Did you see, you may not have, but apparently some Saints fans they started a GoFundMe to pay for a billboard that would say, like, fire Dennis Allen.
Uh-oh.
Did you see that?
No.
What a fucking dumb idea. They needed like $1,600. They got to like $700. I don't even think it should have to be said. Don't give your money to a GoFundMe page to put up a billboard. Apparently it's not happening anymore. I was reading that. I literally tweeted. I was like, that's rich people shit. Like, we're starting a GoFundMe for a fucking billboard? Never in my life would I pay anybody. That's very trusting of somebody you know on Twitter. Needless to say, I don't think it's going to happen. But yeah, I don't know. What does your dad think? See,
I don't know. I haven't talked to him since.
Not about the billboard, but about the future of the Saints.
He had an anytime touchdown score prop for Jamal Williams.
Did he really? Yeah. Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Fucking cashing in.
That is fucking awesome. Dude, he better love Jameson.
Yeah.
That's badass. Yeah, I think it's the biggest slap in the face that you could possibly do to your coach. Your coach told you to go take a knee. You said, fuck you, and handed the ball to Jamal Williams in a game when we're up 40. And I understand the logic behind, like, their explanation. Makes sense to me. Understand. You're running up the score. It's the Falcons. Who gives a fuck? But for Dennis Allen to come out and open his press conference with a, I'm sorry to Arthur Smith, I'm sorry to the Atlanta Falcons, that's not the way we want to play around here. It's like, dude, what are you talking? We want to carry ourselves with this class and integrity. It's like, shut the fuck up. Have you looked around? We're not a city full of class and integrity. The fuck? Shove it down their fucking throat. Step on their fucking neck until they cannot breathe anymore, and then step harder. He's a bitch, dude. He's a bitch. Everyone out there knows it. You know it. I know it. We all know it. Dennis Allen will be fired. There's no point in waiting around. We might as well get out ahead of it, but we won't. We're going to ride it out. We're going to probably ship off some cornerstone players of the franchise. Mickey Loomis is going to be loyal to a fault. And honestly, we should start fucking looking at Mickey Loomis and start asking questions. At this point, that's where I'm at. You passed up a lot of good head coaching candidates to bring in Dennis Allen. Hand up. I said I would have gave him the job because of the continuity on the defensive side of the ball and blah, 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 blah. We say dumb things, but you got to be able to understand that, okay, that was stupid. We should move on now. We should go elsewhere. It's time. We won't do it. We're going to play a tougher schedule next year. Derek Carr will yell at some more teammates, and he'll pray a lot, and he'll miss open receivers. And he played great down the stretch. Great's a stretch, but he played better down the stretch. I understand. I can acknowledge that. He still isn't good. So it's a dark day to be a Saints fan. It's been a dark day for a while. It's going to be a dark season going forward. But we'll see what happens. Who knows? Maybe we shock the world in a package trade. We send Derek Carr and Dennis Allen to the fucking CFL, and we trade up and go get Jaden Daniels. All right, let's get into – I don't really have anything else. What else happened? Anything? Okay, let's get into –
John Morant's out for the season.
Yeah. Hurt his shoulder, but his trigger finger's fine. All right, let's get into the national championship recap. Joseph, I'll allow you if you want to say anything before we take our victory lap, I guess.
Not really. Just kind of being the only one on Washington, it was kind of a frustrating game to watch. It was aggravating.
Oh, I figured as much.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
A lot of the little things.
Yeah, we'll get into it.
Attention to detail.
We'll kind of break it all down because. All right, we'll start from the top. Michigan won the national championship, 34-13, 4.5-point favorites. What I said happened exactly was, as I said, as soon as we're done recording, a 4 will become available. I don't know if that was a mix-up with our book. I didn't see a 4. The 4 was there for 10 minutes. We pounced on it, and then it never came back. I never saw it go back to 4, and I never saw it at 4 at any of the major sports books.
Yeah, it came to 4 on ESPN at one point.
After we recorded?
Yeah, after we bet, too.
Okay. So, yeah, my book gave me a 4. I pounced on it quick. Dude, sometimes the hooks scare me away. You were right. You said you would have bet more on, or you would have liked it even at a higher number. Turns out to be correct. 34-13 win. A 4, I would have felt much better. When I saw the 4, I bet one of my larger bets of the season on it. But sometimes those hooks fucking scare me away, dude. So, yeah, 34-13. Michigan covers the number. The total does go under. What any main takeaways to start?
Yeah, it was like, so obviously Michigan had success running it early on, like more success than you could imagine, but after that it was kind of a frustrating game for both offenses. Mistakes being made, penalties. On Washington's side of the ball, they were missing open guys.
Yeah.
That could have changed the dynamic of this game, but there was a drive. Oh, before halftime, the guy not going out of bounds, like that was an easy chance for Michigan to get points there.
That was so.
There were so many mistakes made by players in the biggest game.
Yeah, I felt like, so first off, I was like, oh, we're gonna have a repeat of last year. That was looking like they were about to go up 21-3, and we're gashing them in the run game. I think Michigan had 303 yards rushing on the game. I think they had over 200 in the first half.
Yeah.
So it looked like, okay, Washington's dead in the water, and we're not even out of the first quarter yet. credit to Washington's defense, I guess, to get enough stops that they managed to kind of crawl back into the game. Would you agree that the score doesn't indicate how close it was? I felt like it was about to be a blowout, and then I was a little worried there for a second. I just felt like Michigan kept having the opportunity to shut the door.
I felt like they
wouldn't.
should have been up by more at halftime.
Yes, I agree.
So on that, yeah, I didn't think it should have been a 7-point game at halftime.
Yes, I agree with that. And but that worried me that, I mean, Michigan scored 14 points in the fourth quarter. One of it was obviously the pick six, and then Corum seals it down the stretch. Yeah, I felt like my number one takeaway, to be quite honest, is that J.J. McCarthy's not good.
Yeah.
J.J. McCarthy is not good. They had him projected as a first-round pick, like coming into the college football playoff. J.J. McCarthy's not a good quarterback. If Penix was on Michigan, they win by 50. Which I understand. Penix did not play well. Penix played probably his worst game of the season. One of them. Penix looked like that 5-game stretch where they were like, ooh, he must be hurt because he was playing poorly, and they were playing a lot of these games close against Arizona State and squeaking by wins. And they were like, he must be nursing something. He didn't look good. He was missing a lot of throws. It was kind of like what we talked about. He was so deadly accurate against Texas that it was one of those, you got to tip your cap if he's able to do that again against a better defense, a better secondary, a better pass rush. And he was missing a lot of throws. I guess, who was it, Odunze? Wide open. Wide open would have on a 4th and 7, wide open, busted coverage, would have completely turned the game around for Washington. He missed the throw. But Michigan made their fair share of mistakes too.
Yeah.
I think that has a lot to do with Michigan's defensive line as well.
Yeah.
That the pocket collapsed so much quicker than it did against Texas, and it showed because Penix was nowhere near as mobile in the pocket. He couldn't move around as much like he did against Texas and make those throws that he made. He didn't have enough time.
Yeah, and he's mobile enough, but it didn't worry me like, oh, his mobility is going to be a problem. I felt like, if anything, which he did, I felt like J.J. McCarthy's legs would be, of the two quarterbacks, J.J. McCarthy's legs would play a bigger role. And it did. When they were backed up on that third down, the scramble up the gut, that was a huge play, a gigantic play. And I don't even think they scored on it, but they were able to flip field position.
Yeah, because 6 dropped the pass over that was the second mistake number 6 made for Michigan.
Yes.
Not going out of bounds, and in the second half dropping the crossing route.
Yes. So again, you felt better about it than I did. You said you would have laid a bigger number. There was no way I was going to take Washington, but I was hesitant at the 4.5. Like I said, sometimes the hook scares me away. But it did have a very similar feel to last year of just an overall better team kind of playing the Cinderella story. And I said, so I sat right here. I said it would go against everything that I made that mistake last year. I was like, I can't do it again. I can't. That was the worst bet I've ever placed in my fucking life. You let me do it. You sat right there and you're like, hi, I feel good about Georgia. And you fucking, no, I know. You let me fucking take TCU. You didn't say, hey, you should switch. That should have been you. That's half on you.
I was hitting over here on an island.
I understand. You should have fucking talked us off. Hey, we're riding away in the boat. You should have said hop back on the island. No, it felt similar to that. It just a team that is. It's one of the main things when I'm handicapping games. If you have a superior advantage in the trenches, it's hard for me to not bet on you. And I got wrapped up in goddamn TCU last year. I'll never forget it. I hope Max Duggan never plays in the NFL. I said I felt like Michigan would be able to get pressure with 4. And if they're able to do that, you have an extra guy in coverage. And one or even 2 extra guys dropping back in coverage. If you can get pressure with 4, which I don't even know. Did they even sack him once? I think they got him once.
They got 1 sack.
Yeah, back inside the 10-yard line. That was a big one, too. When you're able to generate pressure like that, it makes life a lot easier for the secondary. And I mean, I think you texted. You said you were like, I want to see him get a little bit more pressure here. And they kind of started to. They didn't get as much as I thought they would, but it was like enough. The way they were like
later
sending
on, they
the
got
pressure.
a lot of pressure.
Yeah, in the beginning though, it's like it was just the way they were sending the pressure was enough to rattle him and kind of get him off his rhythm and get him out of sync a little bit. But what they were able to do in the run game is exactly what we expected. So the most sustainable way to score points is to run the football. And like I said, it takes one sack to throw your drive off if you're an air raid, or any team, and not even just an air raid team. But when that field condenses and you're in the red zone, it's much more difficult to throw. If you can't have a busted coverage or an over the top or whatever, it becomes a lot more difficult to operate down there in the red zone. And we saw them early, obviously the first drive, they settled for a field goal. It came down to a 4th down, which was a great throw.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was wide open too.
And there was holding. It
Yes,
would've
on the
been
side.
a first down anyway.
Yes. So, but I mean, still, needless to say, they got down there, and then you're on a 4th down conversion opportunity. If they don't get that, it's a lot more difficult. If you can't run the ball, which they couldn't, Dylan Johnson came in banged up, and then the first play of the game hurt his ankle even more. He had 11 carries for 33 yards. On the day, Washington had 46 rushing yards. You're not going to, against a defense like this, with a rushing attack on the other side like this, I texted you as soon as I said, I was like, milking the clock. Mm-hmm. And then they gave it right back, and Washington put together like a 5-minute scoring drive. I was like, motherfucker. But it was looking like they were going to be able to just sit on it, and go down and score and go up 21-3. And that would have essentially been the nail in the coffin. It's just, one, it felt good. I got to say, like he said, it sucked to watch. I totally understand. That's how it's like last year. The game was dead after we were halfway through the first drive, opening drive of the game. I'm like, oh, fuck. Now I have to sit here and watch. It was fucking 63-3. It felt good when it goes the way you think it's going to go. It's very validating, and it's a good feeling, especially to end the season that way. I don't think people fully understand the grind of like how much research goes into these picks, as well as just doing the show, uploading the show, making clips, all of that. There's a lot that goes into it, which we're not done. Obviously, we still have the NFL, and then we will have March Madness. But it felt good to fucking end the season with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it's not as aggravating. Like it did look like it was about to be a blowout, and it's not as aggravating when it is a blowout. But then it was 20-13 for the longest time.
Yeah.
And they just kept punting back and forth. And when it's 20-13, you know, you if you score one touchdown, you're right there.
Or even for you, a field goal.
Even a field goal, you're right there. So what was frustrating is during that 20-13 stretch,
the hope.
Well, and the small fucking mistakes that kept happening, like Adunze catching that deep ball and then it coming back because of dumbass 72 or 73 holding.
Yeah, and that was questionable.
It was a hold. I think
In slow motion, it looked questionable. I think in real time,
I think it was a hold.
that looked like a hole because I saw him fall.
No, I saw it
looked
live.
like he was thrown.
Yes,
live.
Well, that was one of those drives that they ended up punting. It's like, what if they do go score? And then also the 3rd and 3 that, oh God, the running back just
drops the ball.
Oh, yeah.
Wide open drop. That's a drive they were moving on.
And that's kind of what I said with Dylan Johnson being out, dude.
Yeah.
None of these other guys have touched the fucking ball.
It was big.
If you look at the backup running backs, non-existent basically. So to have them thrusted into a national championship game, the Dylan Johnson injury honestly played a big role in I would have still took Michigan, but it made it even easier there because he's a 1,000-yard back, like double-digit touchdowns. It was a non-factor. You could tell as soon as
the biggest shares in all of college football. He's up there,
and he's good in pass protection, all of that. He's a really good player, and you could tell immediately. Obviously, it looked like he re-aggravated it. He kind of got rolled up on right off the bat, but that was bound to happen. It's fucking football. If you come in with a hurt ankle, your ankle's gonna you're gonna re-aggravate it. You could tell when he got the ball. Credit to him for fucking grinding it out and playing because that's got to be such a shitty feeling to get to the national championship and know like you're handicapped basically. But you could tell when he got the ball, he didn't have any pop. It was going nowhere. There was a couple times where there was a hole and it just he would have probably normally been able to hit the hole. The defense collapsed. You got to tip your cap to Michigan on a season surrounded by controversy. And are they cheating, stealing signs? You got people fucking going rogue on the opposing team's sideline dressed in Central Michigan gear. It was a storybook season for the ages. With that being said, What would you make the 2019 LSU versus Michigan line?
Oh, I don't know. They would be favored by more than a better Clemson team that we played for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, handicap it right now.
I don't
just
know.
Off the
Probably
top
like
of your head.
8 points, something like that.
That's what I was thinking. I said I had 7.5 in my head. I think we win by 40. I think you just make it 7.5 because it's a national championship game and you can't make it 23.5. 2019 LSU would beat the dog shit out of this Michigan team. J.J. McCarthy just went 10 of 18 for 140 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. LSU would have 14 points on the first 2 drives, and then what are they going to do? You can't run the ball. J.J. McCarthy's going to have to do something. They're trying to say, like, this is one of the best teams of all time. Let's pump the fucking brakes.
No.
Let's pump the fucking brakes. You know you're the best when you're the team that they compare everybody to. That's when you know you're the best. You don't even have to say you're the best. When it's every year, how would this team stack up against 2019 LSU?
Or 0-1 Miami.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are the 2 teams.
Yeah, or you can go even back to Nebraska when they fucking didn't know what a pass was. So it makes no sense. You had, just look at NFL rosters. The number 1, number 2 wide receiver in the NFL right now, we're both on the same team. Top 3 quarterback in football in the NFL right now was on LSU. Like, it's not even a question. It's funny how everybody tries to say it and make their argument and this and that. LSU would fucking beat the brakes off this Michigan team. It would not even be close. It wouldn't even be close. Trevor Lawrence is a much better quarterback than J.J. McCarthy in college ever could even hope to be. Combined, these 2 teams went 3 of 24 on third down.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You got to definitely tip your cap to Michigan's defense. The corner that's coming back next year, number 2, Johnson.
Yeah.
Great moments and some bad moments too. Obviously, the holding got beat a couple times. That interception was fantastic. That was a great fucking play to catch it, have it knocked out, and still be able to secure it. He had a couple other good plays as well. Yeah, it felt good. It really did. It felt good to sit back. Obviously, made a nice chunk of change, but then just to sit back and see it go the way you thought it would go. And I mean, more so you than me, but still, that was the path. I was like, Michigan's going to win. This is the path. This is how it's going to play out. This is how it was a good handicap, basically. So, because I saw a lot of people saying, like, they don't have notable guys that I respect their opinion. And they're like, I don't have a play. I don't feel good about it. So, yeah, it felt good. Domination, exactly the way Michigan wanted to play. I mean, it still went under. Clearly, the under was the play. Nobody really expected Washington only have 13.0 points in the fourth quarter. But 34-13, you had a pick 6. You had a near scoreless drive with the 4th down conversion for the touchdown. You had, dude, the kickers, both of them sucked. When he almost doinked that first kick, fucking cleft lip.
Oh, yeah.
When he almost doinked that first one, I was like, oh, dude.
And then Michigan banked one off the upright end for the extra point.
Yep. So, we'll recap. Obviously, could have been a better season. Don't get me wrong. We're not happy with it, I guess, but who am I fucking kidding? I'm happy with it after the last 2 years. It's been some down years. I was thinking about it. We had such a good first season, which that wasn't like our first time ever betting on football or anything like that, but it was our first time doing a podcast and giving out bets.
And a lot less people were doing it.
Yes, it's so people. Yeah. It took off.
It's overinflated now.
It is annoying because it's like, it's not like we were first. Don't get me wrong, but we were fucking well before this wave of. It was well before it was legal.
Legality, yeah.
And every fucking body's giving picks out now. It is annoying because it definitely dilutes the quality. Like all these people, if everyone's giving out picks, not everybody's putting time in. And fucking what's his name? Clay Travis is giving out picks on Twitter and shit. It's like, what do you fucking know?
Yeah.
That's the problem. So anybody who's listened long term knows that I have a routine in football season where I'm dedicating days, like one specific day all day, to dive into handicapping games and then some. So you can't take picks from everybody. I'm not saying you have to take picks from us. I've always said, listen to other people's opinions, but don't listen to everybody's opinion. Find the people that know what the fuck they're talking about. In the 5 years we've done this podcast, you're 5-0. I'm 4-1 with the one we know about. The worst bet of my life. That's proven success. In the Super Bowls, we do very well. 5-0 in 5 years, betting the college football national championship, all against the spread. And I'm 4-1. I mean, I don't know what else needs to be said. We do well in the Super Bowls.
Yeah, and I think we're both 3-1 in Super Bowls.
Yeah, and we've hit, dude, whatever you, and I'm not taking, as I said, this is kind of a victory lap, but it's more of a just, the proof is in the pudding. It speaks for itself. We don't charge you for the picks. We're doing it because we want to do it. We're going to bet on it. Might as well give them out. Take everything with a grain of salt if you want to, but I don't know what more needs to be said. So we cover Michigan minus 4.5, brings me to 87, 82, and 5, 8 and 12 in my locks of the week. You were also on Michigan minus 4.5, 65, 61, and 3, 10 and 10 in your locks of the week. Joseph, you were on Washington, but that overall brings you to what?
55 and 50, and also 8 and 12 in my locks.
So what's that percentage? We're like all fucking
It's like
right around it. He'll edge us out, I think, just barely. It ain't that. Well, you're 55 and 50, so you have so you'll have
70%.
Yeah.
Regular season.
Yeah, what bowl season kind of
Yeah.
Bowl season did me not that bad actually.
I'm happy for you guys.
I think I was 3 games over 500, but last year bowl season did us in. But the turnaround I had to make down the stretch, dude. It's one for the ages. So that week before before conference championships, that was a fucking necessary turnaround. And then same thing in the NFL. So yeah, a profitable year, but not one that, what I was saying, I got sidetracked. Sorry. That first year we did so well. We had obviously, like I said, we bet in the past. It was just our first year doing a show. Burrow with the Heisman, obviously, but then we both were right around 60% against the spread. But then COVID hit and everything kind of changed. That next year was obviously a one-off. Like nobody had experienced anything like that when sports betting. And then even the following year, like you have everybody has an extra year, a lot of players coming back, like unprecedented things. So we had such a good year, and then, which you had a good year that following year, but I kind of regressed back to the mean or the median. But so I was like, I wonder how much that affected it, because I had more success the year before as well, like similar success the year before betting college football than that first year of the podcast. And then the 2 years after that, I felt like, it's like, I wonder how different it was,
Yeah.
Like how much effect COVID and all that had.
Yeah, COVID was a hard year because there was only 10 regular season games, all within conference. So
yeah. So
we did well. I felt like we did well though. I did well.
I don't think we did. No, we didn't do bad. I'm just saying, like, you did better than I did. But I'm saying, just I wonder. Because the previous 2 years, I was right around 500. And so I was just thinking about it. Like, I wonder how much that affected things. Like, because, you do have players coming back for an extra year, and it just shakes up everything a little bit.
Yeah, the transfer portal and stuff is changing a lot of things.
Yeah.
Next year, I'm excited for next year. The playoff expanding.
Yeah.
Teams coming to the SEC.
Yeah, that's another thing, too. LSU is about to be a 2025 powerhouse.
Yeah.
Number 1 quarterback, number 1 running back, number 1 wide receiver. And that helps recruiting. Who doesn't want to come play with the fucking number 1 at every position?
Yep.
So that's something to be excited about for sure. But all right, so that does wrap up the college football season. It's been a roller coaster of a ride. It always is. If you are just here for college football picks, we appreciate you coming along for the ride. If you want to stick around for the NFL picks, we are going to give out every NFL playoff game. But if not, then we will see you again come late July, early August when we start getting back into the swing of things. But yeah, we look ahead to the first round of the playoffs. We'll recap real quick, and then we'll dive into that. I had the Ravens +4. I backed former Pro Bowl Tyler Huntley. I didn't know it was going to be that much of a torrential downpour, if I'm being completely honest. Yeah. They still had a chance there down the stretch. We just needed one drive out of Tyler Huntley. He sucks, so couldn't get it done. Saints -3, they cover. Buccaneers -4.5, they cover. We go 2-0 in the NFC South. Patriots -1.5. This was a frustrating one. It was a snow bowl. if I'm being completely honest, hand up, I didn't check the weather the way I should have. I knew there was snow in the forecast. I didn't know there was a blizzard in the forecast. That completely changed the dynamic of things. Brees Hall is obviously the best running back on the field. And the Jets were whatever. The Patriots don't cover. Bills -3 against the Dolphins. It came down to it a little bit there. Josh Allen is overrated. I will say, I've been saying it for a while now, but Josh Allen's not very good. He is and he isn't. It's the kind of the weirdest thing that I've seen, because he will turn the ball over, but then he'll also lead the league in touchdowns. So, needless to say, though, the Dolphins did not look very good. Bills win 21-14. Dolphins had 3 scoreless quarters. I go 3-2. Brings me to 49-44, 9-9 in my locks of the week. You had your usual 3 plays. You went 2-1.
Yeah, I had the Saints -3 for the lock. I had the Cardinals +2.5. I thought the Cardinals were going to win the game.
Yeah.
They got the ball to the Seattle 30-yard line with like 60 seconds left, and then they had a couple negative plays.
Mm-hmm.
Made it a 51-yard field goal that Prater missed at the end of regulation.
Yep.
So they lost the game by 1 point.
But they covered the spread.
And then Jacksonville. Jacksonville started off so good.
Dude.
Now they're not even in the playoffs.
That is crazy. It really is. Like, what were they, 8-3?
Yep.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence is not good. Trevor Lawrence is not good. And I said it when he got drafted. I didn't think he would be good.
Mm-hmm.
8-3.
And then I kind of, it's my fantasy quarterback this year. So you know a little bit about buying any fantasy quarterbacks. Granted, George was the best
I
player in
benched
football.
Lawrence in the championship for Derek Carr. So that just to put you how I thought Lawrence.
Oh,
was
I remember
playing.
with Mahomes and the offensive struggles of the Chiefs. But yeah, I forgot you had Lawrence too. Yeah, no, dude, understand he got hurt, blah, 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 whatever. He's playing. He's not that good. He's another one that kind of just got anointed as like we all thought he would take this step this year.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't. He's the same, if not regressed. With a ton of weapons around him. A ton of weapons. There's no excuse. There's no excuse.
Yeah, Kirk getting injured kind of hurt their offense a good bit, but
still, they did, yes, but they still have guys though. And who they played the Titans, 6-11. Vrabel's fired.
Tajay Spears is good.
Yeah, he is.
He's very good.
Derrick Henry played his last down as a Titan.
Oh, yeah. Sounded like it.
yeah.
It's an impressive.
No, I
career.
was just thinking back to the Panthers game.
What, with the Bucks?
Yeah.
9-0.
Now that I think about it, with the DJ Chark fumble at the diving in the end zone and then the other touchdown coming back.
Yeah, we could have been in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I didn't even see the game.
Yeah, no.
There was
So I could have covered.
DJ Chark.
Were you on the Panthers?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, bad.
It was 6-0 for a long time. Well, early in the game, DJ Chark, it was like an 80-yard touchdown. He was going to score, but he's diving and he gets hit like right before he goes in the end zone, fumbles it out for a touchback.
Oh, God.
And then it's 6-0, and then the Panthers, like, I forget what type of play it was, but they scored a touchdown on it. It was an illegal formation. There wasn't enough guys on the line of scrimmage.
That's crazy.
Yep. No, the Buccaneers looked terrible, but they did cover
That is crazy.
4.5. So,
Yeah.
One rule about the NFL: don't bet on the worst teams.
Yeah.
So yeah, I go 3-2. You go 2-1. Joseph, what did you do
2-2.
again? You were 2-2 last week, right?
I think so. Yeah.
All
Didn't hit my lock, unfortunately. Kind of had a bad taste in my mouth with that Colts and Texans game. They score, and they missed the extra point, which would put it at 48 if the Colts went down and score. So that was bad. Then the Panthers, a bad pick. And the two that I hit was the Saints, hopped on that with you guys, and then the Cowboys -13.5 sweat-free.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, I was questioning if the Commanders would lose by 2 touchdowns 2 weeks in a row on their home field. They did.
Yeah.
Or I think, yeah, Commanders were at home, right?
Yeah, they were.
It was a road game for the Cowboys. Yeah, I know they blocked a punt in that one. It was never in doubt. All right, we look ahead to the wild card round of the NFL playoffs again. For the third time, we will have a play for every single game. First one, the team that you sent the guy to, that they paid $1 billion, and it's not looking great, and now they're turning back the clock with one of the a legend of the game, if you will. The Browns taking on the Texans. The Browns are 2.5-point road favorites. The total sits at 44.5. Regardless of what happens in this game, you gotta tip your cap to Joe Flacco, because Joe Flacco, one, hit the season win total for the Browns.
Yep.
But has completely turned back the clock, understands to throw the ball to his best player in Amari Cooper, who went for 400 yards basically in one game. But dare I say he's on a similar team to the makeup of the Super Bowl Ravens? Not spectacular on the offensive side of the ball. Great defense. The Browns are good. With that being said, I'm going to take the Texans plus 2.5 on their home field.
Okay.
I don't feel great about it. I don't love it. But C.J. Stroud's good. This one, I literally wrote it down. It's not on this paper. I wrote it down on my other paper while I was at work. This one seems so easy to take the Browns. It really does. Less than a field goal. That defense, rookie quarterback. It seems like a home run. Take the Browns. That's why I'm going to take the Texans. Do a little switcheroo.
Who you taking, Joseph?
I'll take the Browns. Maybe I'm
You love the Browns.
a sucker.
Yeah,
I
I
know
love
you're
the
taking-
fucking Browns.
I know you're taking the Browns.
I don't know. This one's tough to me.
It is.
So they just played. C.J. Stroud was out.
Yes.
And Flacco looked great.
Taking the Texans.
You are?
Yeah. I got the Browns, but I'm going to take the Texans. I think it's a fucking shit play.
It's a trap. No, this is one of those. Look, it is. It is. It's so obvious that the Browns are going to cover this game.
I wasn't even paying attention that they played recently. That just helps the Texans, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, it is a home run. Not even a question. The Browns are going to cover this game. It's the easiest bet of the entire wild card round. And that's why the Texans are going to win outright.
I'll take the Texans.
Yeah, we got it.
And we can all thank me.
It's 2.5 even money.
On their home field,
I'll take the Texans.
they're not even supposed to be here. But because the Jaguars are trash, they're here on the turf, home field, C.J. Stroud, Joe Flacco? Who the fuck is Joe
The
Flacco?
defense better make some fucking plays.
Oh, they're
Yeah,
gonna make
I
some
think, they're
plays.
gonna, I think
They
that's
got
the
to.
difference. I'm serious.
No, they have to.
Will-
I think
Will
the Texans
Anderson?
are gonna turn the ball.
This is going to be the
They're
Cinderella
gonna
story.
turn the Browns over.
This is going to be the
They're
Cinderella
gonna make
story.
the Browns turn the ball over.
And we're going to all be like, damn, I'm so glad that Logan fucking
Yeah, but
was
I got
able to
so
sniff
many
it.
notes back in the Browns.
Go ahead. Let's hear it. Might as well. Fuck it.
Well, this is the way I looked at it at first. The Browns, they're number one total defense, number one passing defense, number one third down defense. I don't know if the Texans' 22nd ranked rushing attack is enough to take the pressure off of Stroud, but we're talking about Flacco. He's played phenomenal in the 5 games that he started. 325 passing yards per game, 13 touchdowns, but he does have 8 interceptions
He does
in
turn
those
the ball
5
over.
games. So
Yes.
that's the one thing that I was worried about taking the Browns. I'm switching to Ruski and making that the point of why we have to take the Texans now.
Yes.
8 interceptions in 5 games.
Dude, honestly, it was the most simple handicap of all time. You look at this, there is no fucking way you should take the Texans. The Browns are the superior team every way you look at it. That defense is a fucking juggernaut. CJ Stroud is going to have a welcome to the NFL moment in the playoffs. And the Texans are going to win. CJ Stroud might go for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. He is going to introduce himself, even though we've already been introduced. His first go-round in the playoffs, the Texans are so far ahead of schedule. They picked 2nd in the draft last year. CJ Stroud is about to light up the Cleveland Browns. And Joe Flacco is going to throw 3 interceptions. This should be my lock. It's not, but it should have been. It should have been. Jesus Christ. This is it doesn't make sense, but it's the easiest play. Browns are going to win by 40. All right, so we have a consensus. You're going to give the Houston Texans points on their home field in the playoffs? Come on. And they're going to stick it to fucking Deshaun Watson, who will be up there in the suite. He probably still has the suite from when he was in Houston. He'll get the same one, and they'll fucking stick it to him.
Yeah, there's a massage table in there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Treated up there.
I really do think that the public is going to be all over the Browns because it's the smartest pick. It just makes too much sense. And that's why the Texans are going to win. Second game on Saturday. The AFC wild card. Dolphins, Chiefs. Chiefs are 4-point favorites at home. The total sits at 43.5. Gonna be cold. Gonna be cold. Talking single digits.
Snow.
Don't see any snow, but we're talking single digits. I'll give you an exact update on the weather. But who feels good? Because I don't.
I feel okay.
Which way are you going?
Not great. I'm gonna take the Chiefs.
Okay. If I'm being honest,
Defense.
I am going to go over 43.5 unless I can get a better number. If the Chiefs are going to cover this number, the offense is going to have to wake up. It's got to. With that being, and I worry, I understand the Dolphins are going to cold weather. The Dolphins don't want to go to cold weather. They literally are in South Beach, Miami. But I'm going to go over. 43.5 just feels too low. Which side are you leaning?
Dolphins.
It just 4 points for a team that was looking like they were going to be the clear-cut favorites at one. I mean, they trounced the Broncos by 70. And this is the return of Tyreek Hill for what that's worth. What's the update on Waddle? Anything?
I haven't seen any.
Mostert should come back.
Is it 3 or 4? I thought I saw 3 earlier.
No, it's 4.
We might be able to get a 3.5 for the Chiefs. I saw just a
see.
minute ago before we got here.
No, not what I'm looking at here.
I'll take the Chiefs -4.
Yeah, it's I'm going to take the Dolphins as well, just because.
I think it's 2. The Chiefs are going to win by a field goal. I think when you look at the team this year for the Chiefs, the one positive note they've had on offense is being able to run the football, but the Dolphins have the 7th ranked rush defense in the NFL. When the Chiefs can't run it, like we saw a couple weeks ago, they struggled to run against the Raiders, and the Raiders somehow beat them without throwing a pass for the last 3 quarters or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, I think the Dolphins, their emphasis or their key to the game on offense has to be to establish the run early. I think they can do it against the Chiefs. The Chiefs' defense, if there is a weakness on it, it's against the run. But, yeah, I think it's just too many points here. I think the Chiefs probably win this game by a field goal.
What is the update on Mostert?
He's limited at practice.
Okay, so he'll probably go in some capacity.
But I think they've just been keeping him out of precaution.
Yeah. Achane.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew he was good at A&M, but that motherfucker is good, dude. That one move he put on the guy, I don't know if it was a safety, linebacker, or whatever, the juke inside to the left was nasty. And obviously he's done that quite often this year when he was healthy. They can clearly run the football. Tua's going to have to play well. I'm going over and the Dolphins because I think for the Dolphins to cover this number, they're going to have to put some points on the board. They're going to have to. Mahomes in the playoffs, he still managed to get himself a home game. I think the Chiefs will put enough points on the board here. If we can get in the end zone 3 times, I think. So we fucking better. But yeah, I'll take the Dolphins and I'll take the over. We go to Sunday, staying in the AFC, the Steelers and the Bills. The Bills are 10-point favorites. The total sits at 36.5. You want to talk about snow?
Snow.
This is the snow game. We're talking a lot of snow from what I saw.
And I saw 35.5 earlier.
Okay, you're going over?
No, my total is just a lean.
Okay.
I'm waiting to see what side.
There's
y'all are.
36 is the lowest.
36.
FanDuel at least.
What day? This is on
35.
Sunday. Yeah, dude, we've got. Oh yeah. What
Yes.
time's kick? 12. Oh, it's gonna be snowing all day. All day. I'm gonna take the under. I'm going under. I'll take under 36. What are your thoughts?
I'm going Bills.
That's the way I would lean. I don't know how you confidently take the Steelers. I don't. I mean,
no TJ Watt.
Yeah, that's
TJ
true.
Watt's out.
And the Steelers defense is like not that good
No.
in yards allowed. 22nd in yards allowed, 19th against the run. I think the Bills probably able to run it a little bit better this week than they were able to against Miami last week.
You better
Snowball,
hope. So you
fucking
better hope it's not that much snow.
Josh Allen, they're all going to be running. No passing.
I'm just saying, I have the most experience with snow games this year. Last week, Patriots, Jets. Devontae Parker was trying to run an out route. It was like he was running. I don't even know how to describe it. It was like when you're running through a puddle of water and you're trying to walk on the water, but your shoes are just getting wet, but you're like doing some shit like that. That was him. He had no footing.
I remember one time I bet on the Titans against Green Bay.
In the playoffs, right?
No, it was just a regular.
remember
It was
that.
a late regular season game, and it was snow. I was like, oh yeah, Derrick Henry time.
Were we at the casino?
No.
Oh, I could have swore that was it.
It was Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And the fucking Packers were able to just run effortlessly in the snow, and the Titans looked like they didn't even want to play.
I do remember that.
Yeah, I will. I'll go under.
Under what?
Under 36.
All right, I'm going to take the under as well.
I mean, it's tough whenever. I mean, at the end of the day,
That was my lean.
we're going to be selling out on run.
Yeah.
And I don't know that the Steelers find themselves in the end zone all that often. If they find themselves in the end zone twice, we're dead. So.
Well, the success that they have been having has been coming from the run, the Steelers.
Yeah, but Mason Rudolph, I don't even know how, the fact that he's back in the league after what Myles Garrett did to that poor kid.
Is Pickett healthy?
I think he's just benched.
Wow.
He'll be back. Relax. Yeah, I mean, that is a bit of a problem because zero chance Matt Corral ever does anything other than fucking sell fries in a drive-through window. But Pickett was my one opportunity, whereas his is Anthony Richardson. But I mean, Anthony Richardson's career is over. Yeah, I'll go under 36. You're gonna lay the points with the Bills?
Yeah.
Alrighty. The Bills definitely have also figured out that they can run the football with Cook, who wasn't doing much, and then now he's over 1,100 yards. Granted, he's only got 2 touchdowns because they fucking give them all to Josh Allen, who's thrown 18 interceptions, I just noticed. Give me thoughts on Josh Allen. Is he overrated? Underrated? Rated just right?
I think he just tries to do too much sometimes.
Yeah, but...
I mean, and that's been like his career, but I guess this season, you know, they've been able to run the ball better this year than ever before with him at quarterback, but he's still not used to that.
Well, that's what I was saying. They kind of midway through the year, like we're like, oh, we can hand it to James Cook.
The last game against the Dolphins, those 2 picks weren't those were forced errors, you know?
Yes. And the one touchdown they had, even the one, I think he threw, I don't know if it was just one, but the off the helmet, and the dude makes an incredible adjustment at the back of the end zone. He didn't play well at all.
No.
So, and he's struggled this year for sure. He definitely, I don't know if he just can't read fucking cover 2 coverage or whatever, but he'll try to like throw it over the shallow DB, and then the safety's right there just for an easy interception. I've seen him do it like 5 times. But all right, we switch over to the NFC. The second game on Sunday, 3:30 kick. Packers and Cowboys. This is an interesting one. Cowboys are at home, 7.5-point favorites. The total's 50.5. Cowboys are undefeated at home, 8-0. Packers are 4-5 on the road. Jordan Love has flashed his capabilities multiple times this season, and then obviously left a lot to be desired in other spots, but is playing well as of late. Do you feel good about this?
No.
I don't either.
It's my lot.
But I got
I'm sure you'll like that.
so I got
Let's
two,
hold on.
I got 2 plays.
Okay, let's go side. We're gonna go 3, 2, 1, and say the spread that you're taking.
I'm not taking the full side. I'm taking a half
Motherfucker.
of a side.
Well, fucking that just kills that idea.
If I were to take a full side, you want me to say?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Just say the team. You don't
But
have to
I'm
say the
not
number.
taking this.
Okay. Just say the team though. You don't have to say the number. 3, 2, 1. Packers. Packers plus 7.5.
All right, I'm scratching out the Cowboys first half.
Wait, what? Oh, that's your full. Okay, so you would take the Packers full game.
I would take
taking
the
Cowboys.
Cowboys minus 4.5 and the Packers full game.
Do we try to get fucking big brain?
But this
thinking?
is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take the Packers
That'll be a clip right there if that hits, where you're looking up into the ceiling. You're like, I would. You said I would take the Packers full game, but Cowboy. If that hits, dude, that's gonna look perfect.
Packers plus 7.5, and the Packers over 20.5.
Team total.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the Cowboys are going to be able to score here. That's the thing. So if the Packers want a chance to win, they're going to have to find the end zone. You know.
Yeah. No. I like that rationale for sure. I think. Yeah. I'm betting on Jordan Love. I'm betting on Jordan Love. As crazy as that. I mean, it sounds crazy when I said it to myself. I think the Packers clearly are a much different team at home than they are away. I do have the futures bet. Or I'm sorry, Cowboys are a much different team at home than they are away. I do have the futures bet on the Cowboys. I'll say it. I've said it multiple times. I'll say it again. I always try to find an AFC and an NFC. We're sitting on a Ravens 10-1. It's now 3-1. We're sitting on the Cowboys 10-1 as well. It's like plus 750. We're poised to find ourselves with a money-making opportunity come Super Bowl time. But I will take the Packers plus 7.5. Over a touchdown. I do agree. The Packers, the Cowboys are going to be able to score the football. So Jordan Love is going to have a good game. God help us. He is obviously, this is his first season as a full-time starter. You're now going into a hostile environment against one of the better teams in football. But fuck it. We'll see what we can do. This is Joseph's Lock, so we'll come back to that. Sunday night, 7 p.m. kick, the Rams and the Lions. This one has gone from 3 to 3.5. It looks like it's down to 3 in favor of Detroit. Total sits at 51.5. I'll go first. I'm gonna lay the 3 with the Lions. They're 6-2 at home. The Rams, I've said it multiple times this year. The Rams have impressed me. I feel like the Rams have gone. One, they hit a fucking home run in the draft, getting Puka Nacua and Kyron Williams.
Yeah, both in the 5th round.
Crazy. Top 10 in their positions, respectively. I'm going to take the Lions -3 at home. Dan Campbell has to get this. Has to. This resurgence of Detroit, it's fishy, it's stinky, it's whatever you want to call it. It ain't my lock, but I'm going to lay the 3 with the Lions at home. Which way are you going?
Lions.
Okay. Anything other than...
It's a tough game for the Lions.
It is. I think like
and
if
this is Stafford going back to Detroit.
Yep.
Goff having to play his old team.
Both of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the Lions have a ton of weapons. Amon-Ra St. Brown's a stud. I understand he's banged up. This is playoff football though, so he'll be ready to go. Can we see Jamison Williams? Can he do something?
Yeah, it's going to be up to Goff not to do stupid shit.
Yes. I know Jameson Williams was banged up. I don't know what his status is, but he would be a good addition to fucking take the top off the defense. But Jahmyr Gibbs, they're finally giving him the ball. It took fucking 8 weeks to figure it out, but he's really good. David Montgomery, they're a really good 1-2 punch. Exactly what you said. Jared Goff, I mean, he's got 30 touchdowns on the year. Just don't turn it over. Just play smart football. The defense down the stretch has not looked spectacular for Detroit, but you're at home. You got the home fans behind you. The Rams, like I said, the Rams are much better than I thought they would be coming into this year. I'll take the Lions -3. Joseph, what are you taking?
I'm going to go with the under.
Okay.
It's the highest total of the weekend. Rightfully so. These are two really good offenses, playmakers all over the field on both teams. But I think both of these offenses move behind their running games with Kyron Williams on the Rams and Gibbs and Montgomery, the 1-2 punch in Detroit. So I like the offenses to slow the game down and establish the run, and I think there can be some timely red zone stops in this one, specifically from Detroit, being at home behind their home crowd. So I'm gonna take the under on the big number, 51.5.
Okay. All right. The final game, Monday night. 7:15 kick. It is my lock. Is it your lock?
Yeah.
Interesting. The Eagles and the Bucks. Philly's 3-point road favorites. The total sits at 43.5. Joseph, you can go first, and then we'll go to the lock portion.
I'm gonna take the Eagles -2.5.
Oh, is there a 2.5?
Is there not?
No, yeah. I mean, there very well may be. I don't know. What's an accurate number you can get for either side? What are the best number for the Bucks and the Eagles?
3 is the best number for both.
Okay.
But DraftKings has +3 juiced to -118,
Okay.
-102 for Philadelphia. So, I mean, you could see it come to 2, maybe.
Yeah.
This
I
was
mean,
all
2.5.
as of this morning. That's when I wrote this. But I'll take a -3.
Okay. All right. Any main reason why?
Not really. I just think that they're just the better team, pretty much. And I know they've struggled. Both teams have struggled to close out the season. Both the Eagles and the Bucks. And Baker's had his moments this year, and I know Jalen Hurts has been struggling this second half of the season. Even away, I just think that the Eagles are just a better team all around. I know they're, like I said, they've been struggling. They're missing some guys on the season, but I think they could get it back together against a not so great Bucks defense.
Okay. Alrighty. We now will look ahead to our most important bets of the week, the locks of the week.
It's a lock, Kramer. You've had this thing under control for almost 3 years now. But it's a lock.
They need that fucking juice. They need that next bet. They need. Come on. Yes! When they win, they go fucking crazy.
You're a bad motherfucker. Go in that shower, grab your fucking nuts, and tell the world somebody's sniffing my fucking nutsack today. Because I ain't got time to fuck around no more.
All right, my lock of the week in the NFL playoffs is going to be the Eagles -3. The Buccaneers are fraudulent. The NFC South is horrific. The Eagles are also somebody that I said is fraudulent, and they have been limping to the finish line of this season. Jalen Hurts broke his finger nearly clean off, but the Buccaneers are not very good. There could be some rain later on in this game. Eagles lean on the run. Nick Sirianni said it's fucking 1st and 9 for them. They get into short yardage situations. We're doing the brotherly shove, whatever you want to call it. The Buccaneers aren't good. You saw it last week. Baker Mayfield has exceeded expectations. Sure, the Eagles were in the Super Bowl last year. I don't think they will get back, but I don't think they're going home in the wild card round of the Buccaneers. I'm going to lay the -3 with the Eagles, and now we wait and see if we have a consensus. Oh, go ahead.
No, the offense.
Fire the cannons.
The offense for the Bucks hasn't been good. I don't know how they're in the playoffs. 24th in the league in yards, 20th in points. The Eagles' offense, although it's not what it was last year, it's still good. The defenses for these teams is really what struggled this year against the pass. The Buccaneers are 29th, and on third down, they're 23rd. The Eagles have the 31st ranked pass defense and the 31st ranked third down defense. I'm going over 43.5 points for my lock of the week. I'll also take the Eagles too.
Okay.
Because, I just think the Eagles' defense is bad. The Bucks' defense is bad. I think when you look at the offenses, though, the Eagles have a significant edge there. So,
yeah,
I'll take the Eagles too.
This is a perfect example of how hard it is to go back to the Super Bowl. When you look at the Chiefs having their struggles, the Eagles having their struggles, the two best teams in the league last year, a fall from grace for sure. If the Eagles go home in the wild card round to the Buccaneers, the king of the fucking slums of the NFC South, Sirianni is going to – it's hard to say he'd be on the hot seat, but they've looked like dog shit. Yeah. So, and they've been battling injuries, Jalen Hurts, all that, limping to the finish line a little bit, but it's playoff football now. So it's time to lock in. It's time to do what you're supposed to do. The Buccaneers are not supposed to be here. So, all righty. That is our best bets for the wild card round in the NFL playoffs. We will recap real quick.
Oh, wait.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. My
Cowboys all day.
Interesting.
That's it. And I'm adding Knicks -4.5. Cowboys. I'm taking them both.
First half and full game.
And full game -7.5.
I think they covered the first half, but Packers cover full.
No, I know. I heard you. 8-0
Cowboys
at home.
won by 7.
8-0 at home.
They're up 7 at halftime.
8-0 at home with a winning margin of 21.5 points on the season. I see that continuing here against a not so great Packers defense. Jordan Love. Oh, Jordan Love. He's great. He sucks.
Who the fuck's going to cover Jaden Reed?
You like because you have him in fantasy. Here we go with the fantasy.
He did light it up.
Here we go. No, he's good. He's very good.
Let's look at who the Cowboys have played at home.
Yeah, they've had some weaker competition. You don't have to look.
They played the Jets at home.
Yeah, you don't have to
That's
look.
1-0. They played the Patriots at home, 2-0. The Rams at home, 3-0.
Good win.
Giants at home, 4-0. Commanders at home, 5-0. Seahawks at home, subpar offense. They allowed them to score 35 points. The Eagles at home, 7-0. And the Lions at home in a 1-point win when they got hosed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you got to look at that last game.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, what the Packers did to the Lions on Thanksgiving.
I think Jordan Love
And you got to draw from that.
obliterated. I think Micah Parsons is going to have a field day.
We'll see.
I'd be lying to you if I said I was disappointed to hear that you said that. I like that you...
10 games under 500, I'm getting back. This week.
I hope not on this particular one.
I'm changing my take. The Packers are going to be down by 7 at halftime, but they're going to come back and win this football game.
What do you mean you're changing? That's exactly what you just said.
No, I said the Cowboys were going to be up by 7 at halftime and the end of the game. They're going to lose this game at the end.
Oh, the Packers are going to win?
Yeah.
Okay, relax. let's pump the fucking brakes here because I do have the Cowboys 10-1 to win the Super Bowl.
They're not even making it out the wild
Let's not get carried away. All right? Let's pump the brakes. All right, to recap, I'm taking the Texans plus 2.5. It's the dumbest bet of the weekend. The Texans will win this game outright. Joe Flacco's going home. Give me the over 43.5 in Dolphins Chiefs. The under 36 and the Steelers and Bills. Snow means no points. Give me the Packers plus 7.5. The Lions -3. And my lock of the week, the Philadelphia Eagles -3.
I'm going Texans plus 2.5, Dolphins plus 4, Bills -10, Packers plus 7.5, Packers over 20.5. Lions -3, Eagles -3, and my lock of the week is the Eagles Buccaneers over 43.5 points.
Texans plus 2.5. Chiefs -4. Steelers Bills under 36. Rams Lions under 51.5. Eagles -3. Cowboys -4.5 first half, and from a lock of the week, Cowboys -7.5.
All right, there you go. That is our best bets of the week for the NFL wildcard round. I'm going to be completely honest with you. This is one of my favorite times of the year. I love the NFL playoffs when you finally get to it's a long season. Now you finally get to figure out what's what, who's going home, who's advancing. That is our best bets of the week. Episode 179 is in the books. Do you have anything to say before we go?
See you later.
Go boys.
All right. Again, hit subscribe everywhere. We appreciate it. It's been a great college football season. I said it before. I'll say it again. Thank you to everybody. If you only follow us for college football picks, we will be back like always come July, August, around that time. If this is where we say goodbye, we will see you then. If you want to stick around for the NFL picks, we will have a play for every game of the playoffs as well as the Super Bowl with a bunch of props. And then March Madness is right around the corner. Y'all have a good one. Who dat?
The house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes. The house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house. I've been practicing this pitch a little bit. Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed.
That was good. I liked it.